Hello everybody, this is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with another video. This here's just a wee tribute to my fair ladies. Um, we were a pact, the three of us together. Whenever a loved one dies, it's hard to say goodbye, and yet we know that they're in a better place. I lost my mum 4 years ago, and the pain is still there today. And Jem, my wife, had her mother a lot longer than what I had mine. And I know that she's going to feel it, but this is in the picture above my head. The top one is my darling wife, Jennifer, and her mum, Joy, when she was in better times. So it was a joy to know you, Joy, is what I'm going to post today. This is a tribute to my mother-in-law, who was a lady right up until she took her last breath. I first met Joy when I gate crashed a dinner she was having with my now wife and one of her best friends. It was in the Yellow Door beside wee Barney's where we worked. Jem had warned me not to go, but Keith, our boss, put me up to it. I remember Jem being so worried she never spoke, but me and Joy got on like a house on fire. She reminded me so much of my Granny Cahoon, who was a real lady just like Joy. Joy lived on her own right up until she was in her late 80s. She drove her car right up until near the end, and she lived in a wee flat of her own. Then, as she started getting older, she was needing more and more assistance, so my wife brought her to live with us, and it was a pleasure to look after Joy in her last few years. I remember when she lived in America with Bob, her husband. They used to come to Northern Ireland each year to see the family. Joy and Bob always stayed at our house when they came to visit, and when they knew they were getting older, they made them move back to Northern Ireland where they would have family to look after them as they grew older. Unfortunately, a few years after coming back, Bob passed away, which left Joy on her own. Me and Jem decided to bring her to live with us, as it was one of the greatest pleasures in our life. Joy was a blessing to have in our home. She was the sweetest lady and very witty with it. I grew to love her every bit as much as Jem did. It was just unfortunate at the end because I didn't get to say a proper goodbye because I was in hospital for 3 months this year unscheduled, and Jem had to come with me. Joy was placed in nursing care and her health went downhill drastically. The one gift that Joy always had was her salvation, even when she was in the heights of her illness. She still called out to God right up until the end. My wife cared for her mum with such devotion and love. Nothing was too much, and Joy really appreciated it and knew that Jem would always be there for her, and she was. When Joy used to come to our house with Bob, she would have came down and got into the bed beside me and started doing her nails. It freaked me out because it was like my wife was sitting there only 30 years older. Joy had a slight touch of senile dementia, and when she didn't recognize where she was, Jem always told her, "Sure, you know Gareth's just in the next room," and that was enough to calm her down and let her know she was home. Although she was home in our house, Joy followed our Saviour all the days of her life. She was a woman with high principles, and she held them dear, and I admired that about her. She was home at our house, but she wasn't truly home. She is now. She will be back with her husband, her mom and dad, and her son. She will be walking on the streets of gold. She will be a new creation, and all her frailty will be gone. I know I didn't get a chance to say goodbye or to tell you how much we loved having you living with us. You knew as long as Jem was there, everything would be all right, and I more than anyone can understand that. I know you have left a big hole in our life, especially Jem, but I just want to let you know that you were the best mother-in-law that any man could ask for, and I am so proud to have known you. I have just one more thing to say that I am grateful for every day of my life. I know that you had a lot of children. I think it was 13, but there's one that I am so grateful that she was born. You brought up a strong, independent, loving, and caring daughter who has a heart the size of the Grand Canyon. Both me and you were blessed enough for both of us to get a share of that love. I just want to thank you, Joy, for Jem, for she is simply the best wife, daughter, mother, friend, and sister anyone could ever hope to have. When Jem loves someone, she does it with all of her heart, like mother, like daughter. Farewell, Joy, my fair one. Until we meet again on the other side, farewell, good night, I love you. This song says everything. The lyrics are perfect for someone as beautiful as you. And then just play it for me.
If I had only known the last time would be the last time, I would have put
But
off
of all
all
the
the
things
things
I
I had
had to
to
do,
do.
I would have stayed a little longer, held on a little tighter. But I'd give for one more day with you. 'Cause there's goodness in my heart where something's missing. And they tell me that it's gonna heal with time. But I know you're in the place where all the wounds have been erased. And knowing yours are healed is healing mine. The only scars in heaven, they won't belong to me and you. There's no such thing as broken, and all the old will be made new. The thought that makes me smile now, even as the tears fall down. There's the wounded scars in heaven, are the hands that hold you down. Another road you walked was anything but easy. You've got your share of scars along the way. Now you're standing in the sun. You fought your fight and you